Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Cynthia Tomain with Interactive Brokers, and thank you for joining me today as we take a look at initial features that you'll need as a new trader with IB's Trader Workstation, or I'm sorry, with IB's account management feature. Now, once you've opened and funded an account with Interactive Broker, your user ID and password will give you access to an account management system as well as your choice of several separate trading platforms. All our interfaces do provide a quick start sheet, user guide, and release notes for the latest in upgrades and enhancements. Now, for further information, be sure to visit the Interactive Broker website. Specifics on what we're discussing today can be found in the Trading menu section. There's also a search in the upper right-hand corner of our website that will allow you to locate additional details by keyword. So let me actually get right over into the website here where I can begin to point out things for you. Now notice I am on the Interactive Brokers website, and as I mentioned here, there's access to much of what we're going to discuss, and especially our trading platforms, which we won't cover today, but we do cover in other webinars. So did want to point out not only our platforms, our technology, the products that are available for you, as well as additional services. Now, account management, besides the additional trading trading platforms that we provide, we do give you access to an account management system. Notice here, account management covers tasks that are associated with managing and maintaining your Interactive Broker account. That includes depositing funds, generating account statements, modifying trading permissions, subscribing to market data, changing your address, your password, and so much more. Now, how do you get started? Well, notice that the login button that appears in the upper right-hand corner of our website. Here is where you can launch an account management feature. Now notice account management is included here, and you will need to log in with your user ID and password that was assigned when you first opened up your account. Now notice that you will need to log into your live account to make any changes within account management. You also can access a paper account, and I'll show you where in today's session, but I do want you to be aware that while we have some account management features, it's actually minimal for your paper account, such as daily or periodic statements for that paper account. Any changes or any upgrades or that you do want to make to your account, you can do through our account management feature. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump into my account management. I've already logged in to save some time here today. So I did want to, let's start off on the home page. Now, once you've gone through our account opening process, you've gotten an introduction to IB's account management system. This is your account's official books and records. And this is also where the information you've used or have provided will be used to administer all aspects of your account. It also serves as a portal for all formal communications with the Interactive Brokers Client Services team. So let's start out at the account management homepage. Now, when you first log in, you'll see you're brought to the home page, and notice here there are several different tabs that will allow you to access various sections within account management. Use these tabs to navigate through. Also, each of these individual tabs, for example, if we do go into Manage Account, once you click on that tab, you'll find several sub-layers of selections that are also available. But notice you must, once hovering over them, they're not active until you do click on that that menu selection, and then you'll see additional accounts or additional selections or functions that you can access from each of these areas. Now, many of these will also, sorry, I'm going to try and keep my cursor off that upper line and show you that not only do we have those separate menu items, you'll also find several pages. They're going to be divided up into different sections. Now notice there is a summary section here that gives you real-time data about your account. This is the default home page, and it will include your current balances, any of your current margin requirements, as well as any funds that you do have available for trading. Now, I do want to point out I am going to be working in a test account, so I don't have much information that's included in here, but what you will see is specific to the account or accounts that you're looking at within our account management feature. Now, before we move on, I do want to point out there's several buttons here, but also notice there's a globe icon. Now, the globe icon will allow you to select a language of your preference. Both our trading applications and our account management system can be changed so that you can view in your native tongue. I'm going to try and keep my cursor here, so notice that you could choose from several different languages, and these are the same languages that you can access our trading applications as well. Now, in addition to that globe icon, notice at the very bottom of the screen there's also a dynamic help menu. Now, this help screen will open up specific to the page that you're currently looking at. Now notice here when I do pull up the help menu, it slides in and we're looking at the home page. If I were on my funding menu, notice I'm going to, well, first of all, I'll close this out. If I do go into funding, I want to show you that help menu. Let me see here. Let's go funding, and I'm going to go into fund transfers, for example, and this is what I mean. You do have to make that menu selection. Once you've made the menu selection, then notice how the help menu is going to be specific to the page that you're looking for. So I do want you to be aware of the help, that dynamic help that's available on each of our pages. So let's go back now, and also one other thing before we start moving along I do want you to be aware of is take a look at your URL. That HTTPS is actually letting you know that you're signing in to a secure platform. Now the reason I'm pointing this out is because I want to warn you, do not use your browser's forward and back button because you are in a secure platform. If you do navigate using your browser's buttons here, it will actually take you out of the secure platform and back into the back into our website. So then if you do want to access any of the information, you'll have to log into the account management feature again. So instead of using forward and back, do be aware at the very bottom of certain pages, and let's go back in once again, and I'm going to just choose a particular item. Well, let me see here. What I do want to show you, I'm going to go into account management very quickly, or manage account section, and into our trade configuration. I'm just going to pull up, say for example, trading permissions, and notice that as you get to the bottom of these pages, if there are multiple features or additional pages that you do need to enter information, make sure you scroll to the very bottom of the page and use the continue or the back button. Now notice if I do go to continue here, it will take me down, take me to another page, and notice back will appear here as well. So keep that in mind and don't frustrate yourself with your browser's forward and back button. Just use the tabs and the buttons that are included in account management for that continue and back selection. Now back to the home page. Notice here, I'm going to go back, well, there are times that you do need to go, and let's see, I'm going to get off this page here, go back into my home section, and this will take me back to that general information. Now notice that within account management, I do have several different pages that constitute the home section. That summary page gives me a quick bird's eye view of what I've got available with my balances, my margin requirements, and cash I may have on hand for trading. Now there's also a separate tab here that will allow you to view any of your positions, including any currencies you hold in your account and any positions. Now keep in mind this is a test account and I'm not allowed to hold positions, but when you go into your account, you'll see all of your current positions will be displayed. Now, by the way, I do want you to be aware that both the summary and the positions tab are also included in all of our trading features. So you can see this same information in any of the trading platforms that we do have available. There will be a portfolio page plus an account window where you can view this information as well. Now, moving on, I do want to mention here that any pending items, any items that we need to either complete your account opening or if there's certain additional information that may be required, you'll see these that pending items tab with a separate number. This field here will be highlighted with the number of pending items that do need your attention. Now notice when I do take a look at this, there are 3 different items and they're all included with hyperlinks so that I can get out and complete the information needed for my account management. Notice here that actually takes me out into my investor category. Now while I'm on this page, I do want to point out that certain functions here will require you to digitally sign off on these requests, whether it's adding new market data permissions or subscriptions. You may need to sign off any disclosure statements. So you will see this signature section here. Now the signature section includes the exact name of your account, and you'll see here it's my test account. But also when you are going to digitally sign off, you do need to use that same account name. Notice here it is case sensitive, so make sure you use upper and lower case. By typing that directly into this spot, you will digitally sign on and we'll be able to track that information on any changes, or in this case here, if I did want to upgrade to become an eligible contract participant, I would have to continue on this page. So just keep in mind where we do need confirmation in the form of a signature. You can digitally sign using the exact title of your account. Okay, so let's get back into the home section here. And there's also, keep in mind when you're on the upper level tabs, move your cursor here before navigating because into the different sections of account management. Now I also do want to point out there is a message center. Message center is actually your formal means of communicating with Interactive Brokers. Here you'll find all your current customer support service messages will be displayed, and any new that you haven't seen, you'll see that number highlighted in red so that you can quickly and easily get in and access that information. Now, by the way, there's also corporate actions that are available where you can view notifications of any upcoming corporate actions that may affect you based on positions that you do hold. Oh, and I see here Gerard is asking, when I look at the position section, why are there minus signs? I don't understand what that means for any of your positions. Well, if you do happen to see a minus sign in front of a position, that indicates that you are short that position. So if you're trading equities, that could be a short stock position, or if you have sold options or future contracts, that indicates that it is a negative position, whereas all of your positive positions will be included as long positions. So it's an easy way for you, Gerard, to view at a glance what's included in your account. Now, when we do go into any of our trading applications, what you'll also find are those positions will be highlighted or with different background shading. Red indicates that short position, where green will indicate a long position. So this way you can view all positions held in your account, whether they are long or short, and included on a single page. Okay, and then we were talking about corporate actions that could affect your account. Now, any of these that do have existing information that you haven't seen will be displayed by a number that appears and give you quick access to those additional features from within account management. Now, let's go back into the home section because wherever you are in account management, you can always get back to this home page where you're going to see those balances and all of the rest of the information. But keep in mind now, navigating, you will go to those upper level tabs. Now, there is a trade tab that will allow you to initiate a quick trade. This is actually you can do this within account management, but do keep in mind we have some full-featured trading applications that are also available. This will allow you to initiate a trade initially when you do open up your account. I do want to mention because you will be working or if you do use the Quick Trade, it is recommended to go with the Firefox. Mozilla's Firefox browser works best with that Quick Trade report or Quick Trade platform here. Now, also, let's move over into the reports section because the reports will be where you can access any of your activity or monthly statements. Now notice the different reports that we do have available will appear on the left-hand side, and what I'm going to do is simply click on the activity report. Now notice that you can go into your statements. We also have third-party downloads, flex queries, batch reports, and model statements available. So to make your selection, simply move across and then let's click on the statement. Now, statements will be issued or are available to you, and you'll see that with everything else on our platform, we always start you out by taking a look at a default statement. Now, the default statements that are available, notice that you can click that drop-down arrow. We do have several that are available, but then notice as well, and I'm going to click out of here, you even do have the ability to customize the statements to suit your trading preferences. Well, first, let's go up and we'll view the different statements. I am looking at an activity statement, and notice here, there are daily statements. I could create one with a custom date range, year-to-date, monthly statements, and even calendar day or calendar year annual statements are available as well. So simply make your selection. Now I'm going to go into the daily, and once I make that choice, notice here, hold on a minute. That moves back a section. So let me, and I did what I just told you not to do, was go into using that back button. So I will have to log in to my account once again. Okay, so now we're logging in, and remember, don't use the back button. Well, let's go into the report section and into the activities, and we'll go into the statements. Now here you'll be able to see, notice I'm going to pull up a daily statement. Now if I do choose daily, you'll see here that the date range, you can make your selection. Notice we'll actually even give you access to quite a range of information going all the way back to January of 2013. So you'll get 3 full years plus year to date on for those activity statements. Now notice we could choose a custom date range. Each time you make your selection, you'll see the input fields will actually change. So in this case here, I could go from, instead of today's date, or I'm sorry, last Friday's date, I could then go back to January of 2013, or simply make an additional selection here. Notice I may want to go back just to the beginning of the month. So we could, well, not July 4th, but notice we could go to July 5th. So you can make that range, whether it's a weekly, a monthly, or whatever date range you do want to select. Now also, what I'm going to do is show you that we do have monthly statements available as well. The monthly statements will show you the previous completed month. So instead of July, we're currently taking a look at June of 2017. But notice with this drop-down menu, it too goes back quite a ways, and we'll give you up to 5 years worth of monthly information. So notice that for monthly statements, you can go back to July of 2012. If I do choose calendar years, notice that calendar years will give me 5 full calendar years as well. So each of these does have a default amount of time that it is available for. The reason I'm showing you this is because I do want you to get in the habit of downloading and storing each of your or storing your statements locally on your machine. These will be maintained at IB for only the period of time that's displayed. Now, we do have information that goes back as far or as long as your account has been available or open and trading, but only a limited number of items will be displayed on the screen. If you do have to go back, in this case here, if I have to go back and get a 2011 statement, there would be an additional request. It would take some time to generate, and there is a fee that's associated with that. So to alleviate that, make sure that you simply download and run the default annual statement at least once a year. You can also go in and download and store any of your other statements available. By the way, notice here, you can choose different formats for the statement, whether you wanted HTML or as it appears on the web page. You can also create those statements in a PDF or in a CSV format, which can be opened up and stored in Excel as well. So keep that in mind. By the way, take a look. The languages that it's available in are all those that were also included on that globe icon up at the top of your screen. Now, as with everything at IB, we do show you default information, but give you the ability to customize your statements. So instead of all possible fields, notice that you could come in and simply by expanding that custom section, customized statements, you can choose from those sections that are available. If you don't want to see all, you may just want to see interest accruals or any trade transfers, your open positions, or any of these can be selected by simply choosing putting that check mark in front of the box. Now, there's optional sections that can also be added. Notice here you can add those as well. And then you can also choose different sections to configure. Choices here are also discussed or described within the Account Management User Guide. Now, once you have created that statement, notice that you can save that statement directly from within Account Management. Once it does go into save, you're going to be asked to identify that statement. And notice here, I didn't put a template name. So if you don't fill out the form completely, Account Management is going to prompt you before it will allow you to move on with unsaved information. So I would have to enter a name here. Now notice I can put in test, for example, and if I've already used the test, you'll see that statement name comes up. Now I'm not going to save this statement, but the reason I'm showing you that is notice if we go back up to our view statements, while you could view the default statement, which includes all categories, right up at the top of the screen, you could also choose or customize those statements to suit your trading preferences. Now, whether you want to see full information or perhaps just a range of information, here is where you can tell Interactive Brokers what it is that you do want to see. Now, also back in the reports, I want to point out there are third-party downloads that are available as well. For example, if you use any of these platforms such as Quicken, GainsKeeper, CapTools are available, TradeLog, even MS Money. Any of your notice here, the different activity can also be downloaded in a format that you can use with these external applications. I do want to point out that CapTools does require your account to be enabled for CapTools, but that's a simple request of our reporting integration team. So simply click this field if you do want to use CapTools for your downloads. Now, also, let's go back up into the reports because flex queries are available. Now, flex queries are similar to customizing the statements, but what the flex queries will do is allow you to not only choose the section, but you can get a lot more granulated by specifying those fields within each section that you do want to use. So keep that in mind with those flex queries. By the way, let's go back into our report. There's batch reports that are available. And I also do want to point out the model reports. For those of you who use our model portfolio, or, and that's for advisors or brokers, or if you use the portfolio builder, which will allow individual traders to create separate portfolios within their account based on different trading goals or different trading strategies. You can create those different reports. Now, each of those reports, while they are included within your account, can also be viewed separately by going into those models. So if you're a broker with model portfolios that your clients are invested in, you can actually even create a separate report for just those models. Trade confirmations are also available not only as reports but as flex queries. Now these confirmations are developed, and let's go into any of our reports. Just keep in mind I happen to be in a test account, so I don't have any actual trade confirmations here. But this is where you can select the time period, either the daily or a custom date range, to run those trade confirmations for yourself. Okay, back in the report section, there's also a very handy report called Portfolio Analyst. Now, Portfolio Analyst is available and will allow you an easy-to-use interface that's been designed to provide you with a way to quickly analyze your portfolio's performance. Now, that performance can be either in a snapshot view or a more granular view. Now, notice here you can choose, again, the time period displayed and also different default reports, custom reports. You can even customize certain benchmarks. Now, Portfolio Analyst has been redesigned and is currently available in beta and in the beta portion of TW or account management. And I'll show you that later on in today's session. But I did want to mention that this report is changing, and now we do have a report. And part of the reason for that change is to make it available in any of our any of the devices where you may access Interactive Brokers, smartphones, tablets, as well as any of our trading applications. So I did want to point out Portfolio Analyst. More on that will be coming up on the redesigned Portfolio Analyst next month. But I did want to mention that not only can you go with, you'll see here we do have certain summary or certain reports that are available, and you'll find that we do provide you with presentation-ready PDFs. If you do want to view, and unfortunately because I am in a test account, you can view sample Portfolio Analyst reports on the Interactive Brokers website. I'm going to switch my web page here and go back to our site. We're underneath the Education menu. Notice there is a documentation section. Now this documentation section has information for you based on release notes, any new releases that we're about to roll out. There's also some getting started guides. But under the user guide, I did want to point out there is a reporting guide. Now, any of the reports that are available in account management, you can view either online or in a PDF. And I'm going to open this up online. And notice here that in that left navigation section, there's samples of the different reports that are available. So I'm just going to expand that. If you do want to see a sample of an activity statement report, notice here it has it for each different client type that's available, much to extensive here for me to get into today, but this will allow you to view the report that you would expect to see. So do keep in mind the user guide and the report guide that will give you access to not only your account statements, but also let's take a look at your portfolio analyst sample. Now, the snapshot is a one-page presentation-ready report on your account, and we'll give you a brief look, and notice here how you can go in and see what that will actually look like. I'm going to go back into this window. Now that snapshot report is available, but let me minimize this. We also have more detailed reports that you can pull in and actually bring in some additional analysis for your account. Now that analysis can, you can specify a certain date range. You can even go back to the time that your account had begun. So there's a lot of flexibility here. Notice all of these different reports that are available and can be pulled in to this detailed report that includes a table of contents. If you're a broker or an advisor, we can also include a synopsis of the information here, and then notice how all of these separate reports are available for viewing. So more will be coming up on the Portfolio Analyst next month, and as we are going through revision. But I did want you to see that this here is available for you today. So let's minimize this report and let's get back into account management. Let me see, we're back in the account management guide. Okay, there's also transaction cost analysis, risk. Notice here, there's margin, will display your margin risk, a stress test, as well as value at risk. And each of these reports will also be described in those guides. Okay, well, let's move on to funding. Let me see. Oh, I see a question here. And Arjun was mentioning, I created an Excel spreadsheet and find the surprising result that for trading 100 shares, the tiered pricing is cheaper than the fixed pricing. This ceases to be the case above 200. Well, actually, okay, Arjun, what you're asking about here would be included, and we'll go into the Manage Account section, because here is where you'll be able to let me see, and I think it is within this section where we'll go in and show you that there is a difference, and that's we do have separate different methods that are available. Now let's go back into the Interactive Broker website, because here is where I'm going to show you under the trading menu. I'm sorry, it's going to be under the pricing menu. Notice here with commissions. Arjun, if you would like to make that comparison, here is where you can see what the different pricing functions are, whether you used fixed pricing or tiered. So do take a look at this within TWS. If you've got questions, then I'm going to ask you to please contact our customer services team who can give you some additional information or take a look through here as well, what those different fixed rates would be and what your different tiered rates will be. Generally, if you're trading large volumes, the tiered rates do give you better pricing than those fixed. But what you want to be careful of here is that notice that the tiered, let me go back into the overview, you'll see that our tiered rates does include exchange fees, where the fixed rates do include exchange fees, but do take a look in that Excel spreadsheet because I believe with the tiered, you may have that those exchange fees listed separately. So make sure you do check that in that Excel spreadsheet that you downloaded. Okay, well, let's get back into our account management. Okay, let me see here. I want to get back into account management and the different reports, but this time what I'm going to do is move over into the funding section. Now, the funding tab is where you'll be able to set up fund transfers to your IB account. Notice here there's fund transfers, position transfers, even settlement instructions are available as well. Now let's start off with the fund transfers, because here is where you can set up a transfer for funds into your account. Now notice with each of these pages that what you'll see is what is based on your selection from the menu. Notice here it's showing me my cash balances, and if I do want to transfer funds, the next section here will allow me to choose whether it's a deposit, a withdrawal, or a third-party withdrawal. Now, every time you make your selection, you'll see, based on that choice, any resulting or additional fields that need to be added. So this way, as you're going through, our account management will actually walk you through the different features that you do need. If it is a transaction or a deposit that I'm going to make, I need to select the currency. Currencies can be made in any of these different currency amounts. So you can choose to add additional funds to your account in any of those currencies. Then, too, you will need to choose a method. And notice that each of these methods, again, will pace you through opening up a screen, and depending on your responses, additional fields will open up. Now, I do want to point out something very important here, is that in doing this for this page, you are only making a notification to let IB know the amount of funds that you're soon going to be sending. That way, when those funds do arrive, we're able to match it up with your fund or with this deposit request. Now, keep in mind that once you fill this out here, it is required ahead of IB receiving that deposit or those funds. But remember, this does not move funds, and that you must contact your bank to actually move those funds itself or those themselves. Now notice here, when you do choose a method, I'm going to go down and we can choose a wire, for example, if you do want to set up a wire transaction. Notice here that you can choose if you've already set up banking instructions, you can use those saved banking instructions. Notice here how it's going to pop up, and once again, keep in mind that you do need to scroll down on this page and continue. Here's those, instead of a back button, we can make a cancellation for this, or simply save and continue to send those funds. Now also notice here that you can make any of these transactions a recurring transaction as well. Now each of these, and I'm going to refer you to some additional documentation once again. If we go back to our website, and let me get back up to the main website here. Under the education, we'll go back into our documentation. Now on this page here, let me make sure that documentation comes up. And now notice that over on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see there are general frequently asked questions. But this link here will also take you to a specific funding reference page. Fund transfers, position transfers, and settlement instructions can all be included here. I'm going to go back to the fund transfers and notice here with deposits, once you select deposits and scroll down on this page, you'll see the deposit type, and then notice that you can continue to get some additional information about each of the different deposit types that are available. So do make sure that as you're making your deposits that you do check out the funding reference. By the way, position transfers can also be initiated from this page, and you can also provide settlement instructions as well. And links are provided on that page. So do keep that in mind. Now also, when we do get back into account management, I want to mention here the transaction history. Now, transaction history is a page that will let you view any of your cash or position transfers and banking instructions for your account, or if you do have a client or a sub-account that you manage. Now, on this page, by default, notice it's going to show you all of your funding transactions for the previous 10 days. There's also a slider bar here that will take you all the way out to 90 days of historical information so that you can go back and view that at any point between now and the previous 9 months. Now, um, simply adjust that slider to view anything more than 10 days, but remember that you have up to 90 days of information that will appear here. Now also notice that you can print that page or print this history page out at any point, or even export it to Excel so that you can maintain and access the information beyond that 90 days if you do want a running tab. Now on here, notice that any of those transactions will be listed for you to view, or you could go in and search by account ID, the account type, method, or household, and here is where you can view all of those previous transactions. Now, by the way, these transactions are displayed by date in descending order, so you'll be able to see the most recent ones will appear on top. But if I had more, I do want you to be aware that throughout Interactive Brokers platforms, you'll find when you do have columns of information, simply left-clicking a column header will sort and resort the information according to that individual field. I only have one transaction, which I did cancel earlier, but I did want you to see that these will easily allow you to sort by date, by account title, or by transaction method here as well. Okay, so let's see, we've talked about funding and transaction history. Let me jump over into Manage Account, because managing the account is where you can make modifications. You can view current information we have on your account. Notice here, if I go into account information and details, I'll be able to drill down into any of these items that are available. So if you're looking, whether it's your account or one of your client accounts, you can access that information from this page. Now, notice there are additional items, not just the account details, but if you do want to set up transfer on death instructions, you can do it here. The investor category, as we were looking at earlier, was what I needed to come in and identify for that eligible contract participant. Now here is where, by the way, this is all determined during your account opening process, but if you do feel that you or if you do meet the qualifications as an accredited investor or a qualified purchaser, notice there are some additional information here that you'll need to type in, and then also remember to digitally sign at the bottom of this screen. So if you are going to change the information, that can all be done through the Manage Account section. Now, also, here is where you can update, if you do go into the account information. Let me see, I believe, let's go into the account details. Notice here you can set up profile information, financial. Here you can see what's associated with that account. Financial information for any of the account holders can also be added here. Now let's go into the settings, because the settings is where you can configure the information for your account. Notice here your base currency. You can include your base currency or the currency that you are going to be trading most often can be set up as that base currency. Institutional services, different account, and excess fund sweeps can all be configured from within this window. Now, also take a look at the different fees. Fees that are associated with your account. I'm going to choose this. And this, I believe, let me see, Arjun was looking here for that pricing structure. And here's where you can choose whether you want the fixed or the tiered structure. Now, keep in mind, do be aware that based on the different exchange and fees that are associated, these can affect your account. So do check that pricing page to see which you qualify best for. Okay. Oh, let me see. just taking a look at some questions. Y was asking, is there a fee for the portfolio analyst feature? It is not activated for your account. Well, why? There is no fee, but the very first time that you access the account management, and I should have brought this up when we were talking about the reports, go into the portfolio analyst page. It is not active by design or when you first log into the account. So when you get to this page, actually scroll to the bottom. It will look different for you, and there will be a button that appears at the bottom of the page that indicates that you want to be set up for Portfolio Analyst. That does take overnight processing, so do go back or do go into account management and click that today. Tomorrow you'll be able, what that will do is pull down any of your information in your account, set it up for Portfolio Analyst, and then you can go in and use it. There's no fee that's associated with it, but you will have to activate it for your account. So hopefully that's what you were looking for. How many days does it typically take for funds to clear that are transferred out of IB? Denise, I don't work in the funding department, so that's actually a very good question for our client services. I'll take you here into the support, or notice if we do go into the support section, let me move down here. I'm going to move over to the message center where you can actually place that message. Notice here, you can create a new ticket, which is just a question that you may have for our support team on any of these different items. Now, if we do go into a new ticket, notice here, I'll simply go to create that ticket. We do ask that you choose a category, and that helps us route your request to the team that is best equipped to be able to handle it. So if you do have that funds and banking request, they can give you more specific information, especially based on the different types of methods that you are using. So do come out to our new ticket or create a ticket in the message center. That alleviates you, and by the way, notice that your account number is automatically included, as well as any of the or the way your account has been structured. So the person who picks up that ticket will have all of your account information and can best advise you to that as well. But very good question on that, Denise. What does TWS stand for? Karen is asking. Well, TWS is our trader workstation. It is our premier or our full-featured trading platform. I'd be happy to take you in or show you a little bit about TWS later on when we do get to Q&A. So let me at least move this, and let's get back into our manage account features, because this here is also something that you're going to need when you first get started up. Now, after we've gone into the different settings, notice there's paper trading that's available. Now, a paper account is also available to each of our clients with an approved and a funded account. Now, that paper account does create a simulated trading environment. We will mirror the same market data permissions you have for your live account so that you can view real-time data in a simulated trading platform. That allows you to try out features and functions that we discussed in the webinars before you do actually start trading live. And as I mentioned, there's no additional cost. So if you haven't requested a paper account, definitely do so today. You can also assign an account alias. Now, whether you're a broker, advisor, or friends and family account, instead of using that numerical designation for your account, you can apply an account alias to any of your accounts for easy recognition. Now, I'm going to jump in here. Oh, by the way, notice configure your account. You can also make changes to any of these items here that are included. But I'm now going to go into trade configuration because trade configuration is going to be important for you to identify certain programs that we have. You can join the different programs, but also identify the trading permissions. These are the countries and the asset classes that you do intend to trade. Now, first of all, let's take a look at the different programs that we do have. We have a stock yield enhancement program that will allow you, oh, excuse me, the programs that are available are based on your account structure. And notice here that, for example, if I did hold uh, any fully paid equities, I could loan them out for additional yield in my account. Now, if you want to participate in that program, simply put a check mark in front of this box, and then at the bottom of the page, you will have to digitally sign. But notice that if you want to see what is possible for possible yields based on what's held in your account, notice that there is an example hyperlink. I don't happen to have any positions in my account, so it won't calculate, but for your accounts it will. So do take a look at that. Also want to mention, if you do have a portfolio margin account, there will be a separate program that's also available to you to only portfolio margin accounts, and that will be the ability to pre-borrow equities in the case that you may want to short those. That will help prevent buyout if we don't have the stocks on hand and can't do a locate. So more on both the stock yield enhancement and the pre-borrow program are also available on our website. As we come down into trading permissions, this is an important field because this sets you up or sets up your account for the products that you're going to be trading and the countries that you're going to be trading them in. Now you'll see, because of all of the demos I do, I have quite a few that are listed. But here, where you do have the asset classes going across the top of the screen and the countries that are available for you to trade them in. Now, notice here, there is you'll see multiple different asset classes. And for example, futures. I do want to mention, if you're going to be a futures trader, you will need to specify those futures that you're going to trade. And notice here, I'm going to come down and you'll see, by the way, you can specify all products within the country. But if you are going to be trading futures and have not selected that permission, you will be limited to a single contract each. So keep that in mind. If you want to trade more than a single futures contract at a time, then you will have to make this selection here for futures. So just an example of what it is that you'll need to activate on your machine. Or for your account. Now, I'm also going to scroll down to the bottom of this page because I did want you to see that for option traders, we also have a special program available as well, and that is a T+2 settlement program. If you're trading options and have been assigned, TWS, or Interactive Brokers, does give you the ability to go out and purchase replacement shares. If you are selling covered calls, for example, and may not want to, if you do get assigned, you may not want to relinquish the positions that you have in your account. So by setting up this T+2 settlement program, and notice here, I'm going to hover. Normally a tooltip pops up, but what this will do is it tags that purchase of replacement shares so that they're in your account and settle in 2 trading days, so they are available once that option assignment does go to settle in your account. So another place that you can make these selections, and then it becomes available to you in any of our trading applications. Okay, once I get down to the bottom here, I'm also going to continue, because this page, based on any additional changes that you've made, you'll also need to specify any investment experience, for example, any of your financial information, and then you can continue directly from here. But for right now, what I am going to do is go back under trade configuration, because I'm not changing my permissions. But the next field that you may want to take a look at is market data. Now, market data, let me see here. It won't let me do this. I will have to go back. Instead of clicking continue here, what I am going to do is go back into my trade configuration, and let's see if we can go directly to market data. and that should load for me here. Now, market data is available to all clients, and while we do have certain features that are available at no additional charge. If you are going to be trading products, here is where you can request real-time market data. Now, first off, let me show you that professional market. There are two different pricing structures for market data. Notice there is non-professional or professional. Now, this is based on questions that you responded to once you opened up your account. Notice here, this account is set up for professional market data, but what I'm going to do is go back to the Interactive Broker website. Let me go to the home website because I did want you to see that let's go under our pricing, and here we do have research, news, and market data. If you want to see what those prices will be, notice we'll go into those market data fees. Now, here is where you'll be able to see what the difference is between professional and non-professional subscription rates. And then, too, notice that each of our subscriptions are organized according to global region. I happen to be in North America, so I'm simply going to expand that. And notice here that you can see, let me go back up to the top, non-professional fees and professional fees. So you can see what the difference is based on how your account has been set up. Now, let me jump back into account management for a moment. Let me go back into my account management field, and here is where you can find the different global regions. Keep in mind this account has been set up for professional market data, so when I do go into market or North America, what you are seeing are those professional rates. Now, notice here we do have different bundles of information that are available and at a reduced fee. So notice here we do have Professional Securities Light Bundle, and you'll also find that if you're an active trader, we do waive certain fees if your commissions, your monthly commissions, or you generate in excess of $30 U.S. equivalent for those monthly commissions, we actually will waive those market data fees for you. Now, there's also a snapshot bundle. This snapshot bundle also comes at a price, but it's and this will give you, for those of you who don't need real-time market quotes throughout every second of the market of the trading day, you can actually request a snapshot bundle. This will allow you at the time of your trade to get a consolidated quote, the national best bid and offer available at the time that you're going to place that trade. They do come at an additional, or those snapshot quotes, you're charged a penny per quote, whether you're doing that in your live account or your paper account. But that can reduce your market data fees. By the way, depending on your usage here, do be aware that once those fees, once that snapshot has reduced what it would, the price that you would pay for the regular bundle, it's capped at that price, and no additional charges will be made for that particular month. But I do want you to be aware that these market data fees are set up or charged, and these are the monthly rates that you're seeing. Now, these rates will be, these will be charged to your account if these subscriptions are active at any one time during the month, during the calendar month. We don't prorate these fees, so just keep that in mind when subscribing to new markets. Do so at the beginning of the month, and you can also remove any markets if you find you're not using those markets. You can deselect any of these by simply unchecking what's included in that, or unchecking that box. But remember, if you're going to remove market data, do it at the end of the month before the month moves over to the next calendar month, because remember, we don't prorate any of these fees. Now, you can, by the way, there's notice here that we do have, besides the bundles, there's level 1 and level 2 quotes that are available. And additional nominal subscriptions. For example, if you're a bond trader, you may want to subscribe to our ratings, bond ratings packages. Moody's, Finch, and S&P are all included in this additional nominal subscription here. So do be aware, and by the way, when you do subscribe, make sure you click the continue button so that you do see and digitally sign off any of those subscriptions or disclosures that are required for any of these markets. Now, also do want to show you there is a market data assistant. If you're unsure which markets to subscribe to, simply click this button for additional help, where you can actually identify what instruments you do want to trade, and the market data assistant will let you know what markets you need to subscribe to. Okay, by the way, there's also something we call a quote booster, and you'll find throughout any of our trading applications, there is a limitation of 100 active ticker symbols or simultaneously quotes at any one time throughout any of our trading platforms. Now, does that mean you can only trade 100 or monitor 100 ticker symbols? Absolutely not. We do give you the ability to create separate watch lists, different quote monitor screens, and you can maintain, or you can keep the number of ticker symbols on any of those watch lists to 100 or less at no additional charge. But if you do find that you require more than 100 active quotes, there are booster packs available, up to 10 different booster packs, all at a price, and you can see what that price will be within account management. So do keep that in mind. Not necessary unless you do have, unless you do want simultaneous quotes on more than 100 ticker symbols at a time on the platform. Okay, let me see in Manage Account. There's also, before we move off market data, there's also research subscriptions that are available. Now I'm going to jump. Here we go into our research platform, but what I'm going to do is take you back to our website, because remember, we are on the market data under the pricing menu, market data, and research fees and news. Well, I'm going to click on this item here, and you'll see many of our research amenities are provided at no additional charge. You can go through and read through all of those free services that are available as soon as you open and fund your account. Now, notice once I've made that selection, you'll see that all of these additional research providers can be accessed for no additional charge. You will have to make your selections, and you can do that within account management. But I'm also going to show you before we jump back over, notice that there are fees. Certain items do have fees associated with it. So for example, if you do want to subscribe to Reuters stock reports, notice, well, it's not effective until next month, but at that point, there will be a $2 fee for non-professionals and a $20 fee for professionals. Why the difference between those prices? Well, for those of you, and by the way, as a non-professional, basically that means that you're trading for yourself. If you've got access to trade client accounts, or you have multiple sub-client accounts that you manage as well, notice that that's the reason for the professional fees that are assessed. So individuals, or if you're trading for clients besides just yourself, then professional rates will apply. Now, notice as I scroll down this window, there's even more information. By the way, we do have what we call our information services system. Now, this is available and does come with a bundled package. That bundled package includes, notice, Thomson Reuters, Dow Jones, and additional premium news providers, including Recognia, and Recognia actually does initiate or does give you ways that you can pull information based on technical analysis. So all of these are bundled into a package, and here we do have the professional and the non-professional rates. Now, also notice that in addition to what's available at no additional charge, we do have some a la carte selections available here. So, for example, if you do want to, you'll see here You can subscribe to Dow Jones Institutional Global News Services, and you'll see what the prices are included for that. Now, here, the website is going to show you under our pricing menu what those different items are. But if we do go back into our account management system, here is where you can subscribe to those additional services. Now, notice I do have my Research Essentials bundle indicated here, and each of the different, I think there may be 7 different, yes, we do have 7 different uh, or some of our more popular research amenities are all included and bundled in that in our overall package. But notice that you can add additional premium news wires. All depends on what your trading needs are. So if you do, now some of these are you'll see here the fee is waived, and where you see that fee waived, it's usually an indication that it's waived, and notice waived for those active accounts. Now, additional research amenities can also be requested here. And by the way, notice there is a free trial period for any of these research partners here. Notice that you can activate the free trial, and that is a 30-day free trial where you can try out any of these platforms and then, or before you actually do choose to purchase those additional subscriptions. Once purchased, you can or keep in mind that these are also charged on a monthly basis, where your free trial subscription goes for 30 days. If you do then choose to subscribe, depending on when in the month it's still that you subscribe, it is still going to charge you once that free trial period ends. It will charge you that complete monthly rate. We don't prorate the research amenities either, so do keep that in mind when you are subscribing. By the way, as I scroll to the very bottom of the page, I do want you to see some of those separate data services outside of our research and market data that you can also subscribe to. A QSIP service, and you'll see here a small nominal fee. Reuters Fundamentals, and you'll find that this is available on your platform at no additional charge. And then notice that other items such as the Wall Street Horizon corporate events calendar can also be activated from here. By the way, any of these hyperlinks, simply hover your cursor over that linked item for additional description of what's included. Okay, so we've been through that manage account. Also do want to mention FYIs. FYIs are available, and you can sign up or simply identify which ones you want to be notified. Now, these FYIs are information that will be sent, notice that will be sent to you based on items that are held in your account. Now, these will be sent to the email address you have on record. So make sure you keep your email address up to date with Interactive Brokers. Now, simply putting a check mark in front of the box will enable each of these different notifications. Now, for example, you'll see here I just activated borrowability, and that's if I am going to short and we don't have a locate, this will actually let you know once that locate has been found. Now, there are many different items here, and by the way, these FYIs are visible in any of our trading applications, whether you're working from the mobile apps, the full-feature Trader Workstation, or our scaled-back Web Trader feature. You'll get access to any of these notifications within the trading platform, as well as it being sent to your email address of record. So do be aware of those FYIs. You can also set up alerts within our trading applications. Now, alerts will be sent, again, to your email address of record, or you can set up and store a simple messaging service if you do want any of your notifications, any of the alerts that you sent, any of the alerts that you set up to be sent to a smartphone or a tablet. So keep that in mind. Here is where you'll be able to do that, is in our alert notification. Now, also do want you to see that underneath the security, I mentioned changing your email address. So if you do change it, make sure that you come and let Interactive Brokers know, because many of our notifications will be going out to that email address of record. So it's important that you keep that up to date. You can also change your account password. If you do need assistance, if you don't do it yourself via account management, it is one of those items that you will need to call Interactive Brokers for to go through any of your security questions before that password can be changed. Notice here, there's also on the security, we do have several login devices that are available. So make sure that you do, here is where you can set up that security device. And if you do have any questions on it, please do contact our security department through account management. Let me see, there's access rights. You can add or link accounts, either create linked accounts or link your account to a money manager or a wealth manager through account management as well. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to quickly mention Investor Marketplace. Investor Marketplace is actually located on our website, and it is where you can find services such as investing, research, technology, admin, business administrators, accountants, legal help. All of that is available where you can search through those services. Now I'm going to notice that while we could access it through account management, I'm also going to take you back to the Interactive Broker homepage, because you'll find the Investor Marketplace is listed here. If you do want to find services that may help you with your account, or you can also advertise your own services via this Investor Marketplace. So you can find services. I'm simply going to go in, identify what type of trader you are, and I'm going to go into Trader Investor. And notice these are the different types of services that we do have available. If you are looking for technology consultants, notice, for example, I'll simply click that link, and it will pull up a page where you can review any of these partner firms that are now available. So you can click through for more information on any of these firms. But also be aware that if you want to, let me go, this time I am going to go back a page, and instead of finding services, you can also advertise your services on our platform. Now, this does take a little while to get it set up, but once you identify what type of service that you do want to advertise, simply go in, and I'm going to choose, say, for example, research here. There are guidelines, and make sure that you do read through these guidelines, because these will be reviewed by our compliance department, and once accepted, you'll get listed on the Investor Marketplace. So a way that you can also advertise your firm as well. Okay, back into account management. Let me get back into account management and into the support section. Now, the support section here includes the message center that we talked about previously, where you can view those corporate actions. You can also create a ticket. Now, if you do want to create a new ticket, this will allow you to, once again, select notice when we do go into the new tickets, we'll simply choose create, and it opens up that window which will allow you to identify the department or the category for your query, and then you can go ahead and add a description of what it is that you're looking for. And notice the paperclip icon will also allow you to attach any screenshots, for example, as well. So you can view that your ticket information through the message center. Corporate actions will also appear here as well. So here is where a direct line of communication with Interactive Brokers. But also notice there is a live chat service. Now, live chat will allow you to chat live with any of our customer support team. But again, we ask that you do make your selection here, choose a category, and drill down on the information that it is that you're looking for. Now, you'll see at the very bottom of this window, I'm not going to initiate the live chat, is that there are alerts. Now, with the alert, the reason that alert is there is because you will need to keep this window open. Or questions are answered in the order in which they come in, and they're routed to different departments to be able to handle those questions. But there may be a person or two ahead of you in line, so make sure that you do keep this window open when you do initiate that chat, and you'll be alerted as our technical assistant does come online and is ready to help you. They will ask a question and ask that you respond rather quickly, and so as not to hold up the process. And otherwise, if you don't, they'll move to the next person in the queue. So make sure that you do keep that chat window open. Now, let me see. Other items that are included in the support section is access to our knowledge base. Now, you can find information on the knowledge base either through account management or also by simply adding any information into the search field within the main TWS or the main Interactive Broker website. Let me go back to the home page here, and you'll notice that search field. That search field, and let me put in, I'll just choose funding, for example, and put that keyword in and then search, and you'll find all of the different pages where funding is discussed. Let me see. I'm going to put in funding request so we can get a little bit more granular here. And let me go ahead and specify that. So now notice you'll see all of the items that are included, whether they link you back to certain pages on our website or to those knowledge base articles. So if you're looking for additional information, simply use the search field at the top of the Interactive Broker web page. Now, also on here, let me go back into what I want to do is get that. Well, that's our trading application. Let me go back into our account management system, because notice that in support, not only are there knowledge-based articles, but there's also quite a few tools that are available to help you navigate those support features. Notice there are tips for how to best contact our support team, or how to get contact phone numbers are included here. We also have a contract search, or you can pull up the message center, and we've talked about that a couple of times today. Now, one item I do want to point out here is the trade cancellation request. Now, that is available if you feel that you've gotten or there has been a problem in the execution of your of any of your trades. Now, keep in mind this is for an exchange. This is not intended for any user error. So if you created an error by misentering information on the platform, this is not the tool that you'll use. But if you do happen to notice there has been an erroneous fill in your execution, you do need to, because of a time-sensitive process here, do come out and choose that trade cancellation request, then contact these customer support. Once you've filled this process out, that will help the client support person actually identify the exact trade and start working on it. You can also send a tax correction form, notice here, for each of the different items on this particular section. And there's even a short stock availability tool. Now, those of you, I'm going to go ahead and click through this, because if you are going to be shorting stock, you can do a locate or simply search to see if there's sufficient number of shares available for shorting. I'm going to put in IBKR, for example, here, and then simply tab over, because you will need to identify the home exchange. Here, we are, by the way, simply choosing the first letter of the exchange. You could see all other exchanges were listed to make that selection easy. Once you have identified the home exchange, simply choose that search field, and now you'll see I'll put it in again, IBKR, and I'm going to put in NASDAQ. Let me choose that, and I'll select search. And now notice how it's going to show you the number of shares that are available and if there are sufficient number of shares to short. By the way, you can also look up historical borrow rates. Fee rates and borrow rates are also included here. While we do have a quick search that's included in our website, you are limited to 10 contracts a day. So if you're looking for more information, make sure you go into the account management stock or our stock borrow availability. So then that actually is available within the different tools of the account management system. Additional items including the FX chat. Notice here you can go into corporate actions, and the market data system are also available as quick click items from the client support menu within account management. So at this point, what I'd like to do is open it or come back and see if there's any additional questions. Let me see. How did I get to this page? Okay. This page, I'm not sure. Let me see. Oh, that was quite a while ago, Karen. I'm sorry I'm not, haven't selected it. But basically what I've been doing is going through the different tabs that are included in account management as well as the Interactive Broker website. Now, Interactive Broker, notice this is when I'm looking for the search field, I utilize this or the search results. Simply utilize that search box that's included at the top of the window. The other items we've been talking about today have been on the pricing menu. Notice commissions and whether you're looking for fixed or tiered commissions, different prices for research or market data are all included on the pricing menu. And the other menu we've been taking a look at is the trading menu. Now, basically, if you're looking for account management information, a funding reference, here's where you can find that funding reference page. If you're looking for more information on shorting or shorting stock or securities financing, you can find it on this page. And then there's also the investor marketplace. So here are some of the websites that I've been showing you. I've also taken you to the education menu that's included into documentation, because I know we've covered a lot here today, but there's documentation for account management. Notice if we do go in, by the way, there's release notes here, but if you want to get into the user guide, here you can actually access the account management user guide. I'm going to tell you about the beta user guide in just a moment, but also do want you to see that Portfolio Analyst. This is going to give you an overview of what the changes that we're currently making in Portfolio Analyst, and also access the reporting guide for sample reports that are available. So there's a lot of information in the user guides or on the documentation page. Now, notice here we do have account management beta user guide and also the portfolio analyst beta. Well, let's go back to the account menu, because we are now in the process of rolling out or redesigning account management. The new account management is currently in beta. Now, beta means that it is subject to change, so this is not the final version, but you can take a look at what will be occurring with our account management system. You'll see that I'm going to go ahead and I'll log into new account management, and do want to mention here, let's see, it will bring us up and log in using your live account. So let me go back in here. I'm going to try and log in. But I do want you to be aware that this is not yet fully functional. But this is what's going to happen over the next few months with account management. Everything that we've been talking about today will still be included in here, but you'll see that this new beta release has been rebuilt with a modern and easy, intuitive interface and consistency that is now going to be available across any desktop or mobile device. So you'll be able to see the reporting, the funding. There's a separate section here for your settings, and notice that you can expand to find different settings that will be available. So whether it's your account section or your user settings, each of these will give you intuitive information. Now, I do want you to be aware that while this menu, first of all, we have about 80% of our functionality is currently in here. So you can come in and take a look at what is going to be changing. Now, especially how we're trying to make this easier to find and choose any of your account information. Now, for advisors and brokers, there's certain features that are not yet active within the beta version, and for individual users, you'll find that you can't subscribe to account or to market data or to research platforms. So take a look, though, if you do want to come back out and review how this is going to, or how this will evolve coming up in the next few months. Goal here is to have customer account management rolled out this fall. So it is something that's coming, and if you'd like to take a quick look at how it's going to look for your account, you can always log in with your account information. By the way, if you do go into any of those reports, there's been a big redesign of the portfolio analyst. I showed you that earlier, the different reports that are available. And by the way, you can even add notice here, manage external accounts. You can add accounts that are held at other brokerage firms and even banks, annuities, or any of your financial accounts so that you can get a complete picture of your financial portfolio in a single place, all within the Interactive Broker account management system. So let's open this up for questions. Karen, I'm not sure that I found the page that you were looking for, but I think you've had a chance to see where we've navigated to. Is it possible for you, Gerard is asking for my email address. Well, I'm not, basically you see I'm sending you off to account or to our client services team. But if you do have a comment or a question, you can always send that to webinars@interactivebrokers.com, and I'll try and get back to you just as quickly as I can. Okay. Oh, and by the way, what I didn't show you on our website is also underneath the education menu. Notice there's webinars and short videos. If you do click through here, you can come and join any of our upcoming webinars. Notice we'll simply go in and you can view or sign up for any of these events that are coming up over the next few weeks. But also do want you to see that you can access any of our, let's go back a page, go into the recording. Let me see here, it'll take a moment for you to catch up with this, on the recorded webinars. Now here you'll be able to find not only today's webinar, this is where it will be posted, and you can click through the link to revisit the recording, or also there will be webinar notes. I'll be generating information for you here shortly, soon after the event ends. So I will be sending out a direct link to our recorded playback as well as to the webinar notes. So if you do want to revisit the concepts we've discussed today, simply watch your email in the next couple of hours for that link to appear. Or you can always come out and access it from the Interactive Brokers website. Well, with that, it looks like we are going to conclude our event today. I want to thank all of you for participating with me, and want to wish you a great rest of the day. You can exit the platform using the X in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Thanks, everyone, for participating. Have a great day, and everybody do remember to trade smart. Thanks, all.